Let's go to the New York Stock Exchange, where Simeon Hyman from ProShares joins us, global investment strategist, and also here to introduce, in case folks missed it, a couple new crypto ETFs just came out this week. Simeon, ETH, the main focus here, Ether, tell us about it.
We rang the bell this morning, and thanks for having me on. We actually launched 3 funds this week. So as you mentioned, EETH, that's ProShares Ether Strategy ETF. And then we launched 2 combo ETFs, Betty and Beth. BETH is Bitcoin and Ether market cap weighted, and Betty, BETE, is Bitcoin and Ether equally weighted. And it is an important addition to our suite. You may recall 2 years ago we launched BITO, the ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF. It's seen $2 billion of flow. It's the largest crypto-linked ETF, and it really proved the concept of a futures-based crypto ETF, and we're glad to expand the suite this week.
Yeah, make sure to delineate those lines for us on how did we define these products, because a lot of the hype around the crypto ETF world has been with those spot ETFs that are in application that now are back under review. These are linked. When you say crypto linked, because we're going to futures, walk us through the structure of the funds.
We're using futures offers, so this is really straightforward. These ETFs use the futures market, and that's a regulated place. So as opposed to the spot market where there's all sorts of things going on in the news, people on trial and those sorts of things, it's kind of a maturing market that maybe hasn't quite finished maturing. We use futures, crypto futures, be they Ether or Bitcoin, to get exposure to those cryptocurrencies, and it's 2 layers of regulation, if you will, because the futures market itself is a regulated place, central clearinghouse, margin posted, all this great stuff, and then you put that into the ETF wrapper. Now you've got a regular ETF that you can buy in your brokerage account.
But if the spot still crashes or rallies, the futures will ultimately go in the direction, right? So that layer of protection, it's not price protection by any means.
No, in fact, it's even more specific than that. The futures market tracks the spot price very, very effectively. So indeed, you're getting the exposure to Ether and Bitcoin, and that's the absolute intent. You don't want anything in between those, and in fact, that's the experience we've had as the global leader in crypto-linked ETFs with BITO, that's been out for 2 years now. It's tracked spot very, very closely over that 2-year period, really proving the point that this is a very efficacious way to get exposure to cryptocurrency.
Do you see there being a compelling argument for a spot ETF? Obviously, I'm asking that sort of from a competitive product standpoint. If this were approved, the spot ETF, do you think that would hurt the case for these types of funds?
Look, we don't know what kind of timeline or what kind of developments would be to offer other opportunities in the future. What we know is that in the here and now, our futures approach, our future ETFs are available, and they've really proven their mettle quite well. Since the inception of BITO is trailing the spot price by about 3%, and that's 2 years. That's just a little bit more than the fee. So tracking really, really closely, and of course, there is no free way to get exposure to anything. These are theoretical, indices in terms of a spot price, and in fact, not only is it a theoretical construct, remember, there's no one price for things like Bitcoin and Ether. There are multiple exchanges. So among the nice things of the futures market is they're settled with a price that reflects the prices of multiple exchanges. So there are a lot of benefits, we think, to using futures and ETF, and even in an ultimate world, it'll be nice if when that time comes, we expect that investors will still appreciate choice.
Okay. What am I missing here, Simeon? When I look at the 1-year percent for BITO, I'm looking at a 13% gain. BTC is up way more, like 38% on the year. What am I missing there?
I am so glad that you actually pointed that out, Albert. You are looking at price return.
Okay.
So for everybody who's playing along at home, you absolutely must look at total return to make sure that you are including the distributions from BITO and in the future our Ether-linked ETFs. When you look at that total return, the tracking is awesome. So again, for everybody playing at home, make sure you look at the total return.
Where do you guys see the maybe asset allocation is an ambitious way to phrase it, but the interest for ETH versus Bitcoin as its kind of role in a portfolio or strategy? Or is that just something hey, here's the product, we're not going to worry about that, that's up to the buyer? Or do you hear in your conversation with clients what they want to use these things for?
We do think about it a lot, and our clients think about it a lot. First, we're very pleased to bring the Ether solutions to the marketplace because Bitcoin and Ether, the 1 and 2 cryptocurrencies, are not exactly the same thing. Bitcoin fixed supply, kind of digital gold. Ether not fixed supply, some exposure to the Ethereum ecosystem. So those two in and of themselves are important and complementary with respect to exposure to cryptocurrency. And then to the broader point of asset allocation, look, you've got a volatile asset class that doesn't do what traditional asset classes do. That means it's a very valuable diversifier. By the way, in the last month, traditional assets going south, cryptocurrency outperforming. And in the context of this last year, think about the interesting news flow back to those exchanges and the spot markets, but also rising interest rates. Those were supposed to be really bad things. And in the meantime, Bitcoin and crypto have actually had a pretty darn good year. So we do see folks seeing these as important diversifier in additions to traditional stock and bond portfolios.
All right, congrats on the fast movement in this category. And looking forward to tracking them and seeing how the whole industry develops and where investors put their preference for the vehicles. Appreciate it, Simeon. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Simeon Hyman, ProShares. 3 different options for trading and investing in Ether now. 2 mixed with Bitcoin and 1 pure trade.